What's up, YouTube? Today I wanted to review the Square Enix Minimum Collection figures of Yuna, Riku and Paine based on Final Fantasy X-2. These figures came out in 2003, but I like to do reviews on stuff nobody's talked about, so surprisingly, despite these figures coming out in 2003, no one has decided to review them yet, so I figured I'd be the one to do that. But first off, I guess after the major success of Lego, almost every company and their mothers wanted to have some form of block figure. So there was already Lego at that point, which stands roughly this size in comparison to these guys. And I remember Medicom ended up coming out with Kubricks later on. That's a Kubrick, so they kind of fit in scale with these. And then also there was Minimates that came out as well. Got this Minimate Maria Hill. That's just for comparison to see how these guys stand up next to Lego, Minimates, and Kubricks. But yeah, just wanted to show that. And then I'll get these out of the way. So, yeah, these figures are roughly 2.5 inches tall. So they're pretty small figures, but they are quite nicely detailed. And before I jump into the full scale review, I want to show off the packaging. So I actually don't have all of the original packaging. The plastic wrap that the figures were in is more like a plastic sleeve with molded insert for the figures within it. But I actually don't have that. After I got these figures and I took them out of the box briefly, my brother ended up crumpling up the box and throwing it away. So I was bummed about that, and so I actually didn't keep it. I just kind of let the plastic go. But I did keep the card. And what this is it just has the official artwork of Yuna, Riku, and Paine. She has a Square Enix 2003. That's when these figures came out. And it's got the little lettering for them. And Square Enix Minimum Collection up here. And what I did learn in Japanese class, that translates right there, those characters, to Square Enix Minimum Collection. So it's just basically the katakana, I want to say, form of just writing out that Square Enix Minimum Collection. And over here on the back, we actually get their name once more, and the skeleton is actually the format that all of their figures follow, so it doesn't matter which one you have. If you look at it, then they all follow the same bone structure, which is interesting. They all have these mini hands. You may see that the figures in this set have bigger hands, but underneath they actually do have these little manipulator hands, so just bear that in mind. I think it would have been better if they actually just made, the original molded hands, but for some reason they just decided to do that, and you'll see in just a second. And a whole bunch of other writing that I can't understand. I never made it that far in Japanese class, but I just figured I'd show that off right quick. And yeah, let's get back into the figures. Alright, and looking back at the figures, these are really well done. Let's get a look at Yuna first. I'm going to go over the articulation and such. So based on the skeleton and the way it looks, it has the hair is actually a separate piece, so sorry, I'm going to focus this right quick. Yeah, there, much better. So the hair is actually a separate piece, so the hair does come off. I kind of glued Yuna's hair down because it's the most likely of the three to come off. But overall, it looks, pretty nice from up front. It looks kind of, the hands looked kind of funny if I remove the gun. Kind of looks like a ridiculous crab claw, but really not bad overall. It's got a nice little wash in this little mini dress part over here. This figure does look kind of weird from the back. Right there is the little hands I was talking about, as you can see from that skeleton that was on the back of the card. And this hand actually broke, so I just kind of crazy glued it back in. So it does look kind of weird. You can see what I was talking about, how it would have been better if they just decided to, just make the hands one solid piece instead of just doing this little mini manipulator hand roundabout, whatever they're thinking. And over here is a bit weird because Yuna's hair does fall short of her neck, so yeah, that looks a little bit crazy from some angles, so I'll just leave that from the front. But overall, it's really well done, as I was mentioning earlier. And the weapon, I believe these are called tiny bee guns, but the detail on them is quite nice for such a small figure. I really can't complain. Look at that. Smooth. So, yeah, that's Yuna right there. I'm gonna move into Riku as soon as Yuna can stand. And Riku over here is definitely one of the better figures in the set. See they got the albed pupils where they're kind of swirly spirals, right? They got the blue and red hair beads, correct and accurate. Yeah, Riku's hair does fall a little bit short of the neck or the back of the head as well, but it's nowhere near as noticeable as the one on Yuna. And let's see, she's got these little ribbons going down her arm, which is quite nice. Helps play off the kind of weirdy, kind of strange mechanics of the arm. Like Yuna had these weird arm mechanics, but the way that she was able to have these ribbons on her arm make them look a lot more natural. I mean, granted, these are overly, what is it, characterized block figures, but I still think it looks better on this figure. Some of them play it off a lot better than others. And mini skirt action did quite well on the back design. And here are these hands again. These are just downright hideous. It's just bad. I do not like the look of them at all. Here's her little mini sword things. Zoom in. So really not bad. I mean, they have a basic concept design, so there's not really much to work with, but still the way that they executed it is pretty good. And over here is actually these shoes. The bottom of the legs are actually just a straight peg that peg right down to like a hole in these shoes. And that's how all of these figures work. Like I was saying, they all follow that same skeleton. They just have different pieces. I'm trying to think. I want to say that the Minimum Collection 9 had a total of 9 different figures with these 3. The Cloud and Sephiroth set from Kingdom Hearts that I'm going to go over. And a Sora figure came out, but that was only with the exclusive collector's edition of Kingdom Hearts Final Mix that came out ages ago. But some people sell the figure loose every now and then, so you can still pick it up. And they made 3 of the original Final Fantasy figures. They had a warrior, a red mage, and a black mage, I want to say, figures that they made. But they also had a couple color variants of those. So overall, I think they had 9 different figures, but with some repaints here and there, but that was only for the original Final Fantasy figures. But anyway, enough about the background of this line. Sorry, I love to talk about, the context of figures and such, as opposed to just telling people what's in front of me. I'm kind of a historian. I love throwing out details. But anyway, back to the review. Here we have Paine, and the one thing about Paine, I say she actually looks the smoothest at all the figures in this set. It's just looks really well done. I mean, all the figures are quite nice, but Paine is downright my favorite out of the set. And this one is quite neat. One thing about Paine, though, is I actually swapped these out with Sephiroth because I think it matched him better. But Paine's hands are actually black. So if you buy this set and you take it out of the box directly, then Paine's hands, her mini hands on the insides, are actually black. But I just kind of swapped these out because with the Kingdom Hearts Minimum Collection set, then Sephiroth actually comes with, flesh-colored hands on the inside, which I thought was pretty strange but interesting. But I kind of just gave the inner black hands to Sephiroth. But anyways, yeah, I just want to note that. And yeah, as you can see, it's the same skeleton. They all got the same basic underlying design with just different pieces put on top of it. And Paine's sword is actually my favorite part. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Yes, as you can see, it's just very nice. Very, very nice. Give that back to Paine. And overall, yes, these figures are quite nice. I want to say I got this for about $30 back in the day. I don't know how much it costs now. I haven't looked them up on eBay recently at all. But yeah, very nice figures. If you're into the whole collector's aspect of it, then I think you'll love these. But otherwise, good figures. I'll recommend them. They are pretty small, but quite good. They fit in with a lot of other block figures that were created. And if you're a Final Fantasy fan, you probably won't want to miss out on these. I mean, there's still plenty of opportunities to get them, but still, they're good figures. You wouldn't want to miss out on them. And actually, before I go, I want to show how they look compared to the original PlayArts Final Fantasy X-2 figures that came out ages ago. Alright, and here's how they look in comparison with the original PlayArts Final Fantasy X-2 figures that came out a long time ago. I'm not exactly sure what year they came out. I could probably look it up. I'll throw it in the description if anything.